Hey guys, Rebel95, recording live from your local county prison cell. So I had to kind of compromise on when I was going to release this next fight. I actually have done two death battles in a row without releasing any content in between because of the timing of it. But yeah, so this is like my last day off this week, and it's snowing like a motherfucker, so sorry if the lighting's a little darker. Um, but and I didn't want to wait until like next week because that would be the week that Hulk Broly's coming out. So like I decided like let me just do it now and get it out of the way. So this is a fight I've been hanging on to for 2 weeks, and this is actually a really cool one that I like. I would love to see this happen. Despite how like kind of stupid it is, you guys know I like when they put characters from properties that you wouldn't think of putting in a death battle. And they take it seriously. Not like a joke episode where the fact that they're taking it seriously is kind of the joke. I mean, like when they actually take it seriously. In this fight, it's Chucky from the Child's Play slash Chucky series, and Slappy from Goosebumps. Now, the book series. Well, yeah, there's the book series, but there's also the TV show, which is an interpretation of the book series, right? So you can take that as kind of a visual example of what he's capable of. And then also, the two Goosebumps movies would also work because, spoiler for a, like, 4-year-old movie by this point, but in those movies, the Goosebumps books exist. And the characters are the characters from the book given life. So, like, the Slappy in those movies is the same Slappy as in the book. So anything he does in the movie, he should be capable of from the source material. So they're also indicative of what he can do. So that's actually there's actually a good amount of um there's actually a good amount of information available about these characters. So I'm gonna try to go into a little bit of the backstory, but I'm not gonna like make a huge thing out of it. I'm gonna use the backstory when necessary. So starting with Chucky. So Chucky was a serial killer who was in league with a voodoo bakur, I believe they're called, guy doing voodoo, right? And right when he was about to be captured, he had his friend transfer his soul into that of a doll, a Chucky doll, which was in that time in the Chucky universe is a popular doll series. So essentially he's just walking around in this doll body, but as time went on, he started integrating more and more into the body, so he can feel pain, and it is anatomical pain compared to his own body. But other than that, he does have an anatomically correct heart, which if you destroy the heart, it destroys his, like he just dies. But other than that, he's actually kind of immortal. He doesn't age, can't get sick, and all other forms of physical harm, he can feel the pain, but he doesn't die from it. He's got his head blown off. He's been melted, but his heart stayed intact. He's lost limbs. He's done all this stuff, and he doesn't die from it unless his heart is destroyed. So, he's Chucky. He's killed, hundreds upon hundreds of people. And I mean, part of the more dangerous side of him is his unassuming nature. Um, the fact that he can just be a doll that nobody suspects of being a doll until he jumps up with a knife and kills him. He always carries a knife with him, but he's improvised a lot of weapons as well. He's driven a car. to run someone over. He's, jury rigged up explosives. He's used like scissors and whatnot. And again, he does have the proportionate strength of a man, just as a doll. So he can, like, grab onto you and start, you know, he can, like, grab onto you and start trying to, like, break your neck or something. He's just a little small to get it done. But the size also works to his advantage because he has a habit of, like, hitting people in the legs and shit. But yeah, I mean, and like I said, he's a serial killer. He's killed hundreds upon hundreds of people, so he's definitely got that track record going for him. Now on to Slappy. So Slappy was originally a wizard in the 1800s. Not 1800s, in like the medieval time, like 1400s. Um, why I thought 1800s. And he had carved a doll out of a casket to um, transfer his soul into using an incantation. And the incantation, so like before he was, I think it was before he was to be executed or something like that. So the incantation is what brings Slappy to life and also puts him back to sleep. It doesn't kill him, but it puts him back to sleep. So over the years, he's been woken up a couple of times, and and thus he has the habit of keeping the incantation written on a piece of paper in his coat pocket, so that someone will eventually find him, read it, and he'll come back to life. Um, Now, Slappy is a bit weird compared to something like Chucky because from all the different mediums, Slappy apparently has all these inherently much more powerful abilities. We've seen him like show some minor level of telekinesis over like small objects, like he's able to telekinetically take the screws out of ladders and whatnot. But we've also seen him like jump in front of a moving car and like punch the windshield and crack it. So he's got borderline superhuman strength. But yet Slappy doesn't physically confront anyone. He does that as a last resort, and he usually tries to kind of manipulate, and his main goal is to kind of force someone to be his slave by driving them insane or making other people believe that they're insane and like ruining their life. So he kind of like, and he only will agree to do that if they do what he says. So he's kind of like a master manipulator, but he's not really a fighter though. That's the thing. Um, the thing is, Slappy's actually made of wood, whereas Chucky's made of plastic, and the only reason that that's relevant is because Slappy does have a specific weakness to termites. I don't know why that wouldn't give him like a weakness to like fire or getting his limbs chopped off or something, but apparently termites really, they don't like kill him. Again, it's, the soul is in the doll, but I guess it's the fact that termites will eat him and he'll never be able to reattach that. But that's not the point. So, now, the same Slappy has been in three different books in the three different situations, unlike Chucky, where he's kind of been re-emerging in this against the same guy. Um, I guess, well, due to his age, it's a little hard to say that Slappy has experience because he's spent hundreds of years asleep, not doing anything. So I guess it's kind of hard to say that one of them has an experience advantage. But getting into the actual fight here, Slappy's latent superhuman or borderline superhuman abilities, at first glance, you'd think would give him the advantage. But like I said, he never really uses them to, like, fight another person. He always uses them to kind of manipulate a situation. Like, you know, accuse somebody else to sabotage somebody or accuse someone else of sabotage to kind of frame some people, make it. That's how he's used to using these things. He's not really a fighter. Whereas Chucky is a serial killer and is used to physically assaulting and confronting people. So really, even though Slappy has all these abilities, Chucky has a much bigger experience advantage. And with both characters being immortal, the difference in strength or having these, minor levels of telekinesis don't really affect all that much. Now, they both do have these fatal weaknesses, being Chucky, if his heart gets destroyed, he'll die. Or if Slappy gets, or Slappy keeps that paper with his, with the incantation written on him, which if Chucky reads that, Slappy will, like, fall back asleep. So the real question is, which of those two situations is more likely? And I think given the difference in experience, I think it's more likely that Chucky will get his hands on that note, on that piece of paper, and read aloud the incantation. Because first of all, Chucky's no slouch to, like, spells and whatnot. Being, he's no stranger to that. Being transferred into multiple different bodies over the years, and having, been transferred from a human into a doll by a voodoo spell. He'll know that, and, it won't take, like, he'll realize that this is something I'll need. Slappy, that inexperience and that not really being able to fight or knowing how to fight or being able to do it, that'll probably affect how, that'll probably means it's not very likely that he'll be able to actually, destroy Chucky's heart. So, giving this, I'm going to have to give this to Chucky. The fact that he's just, both, like I said, are immortal, but Chucky just has a scenario where I see him winning m- more likely than Slappy winning. And then when Slappy falls asleep, Chucky can, like, throw him in a furnace or something. I don't, but whatever. That's the point. But I really like the idea of this fight. I really like. Uh, I think there's a lot of stuff you can do with this, and I hope someday they would actually do it. But if you're gonna have a fight with Chucky, I think Slappy's the best opponent. I mean, it's better than putting him against, like, Ghostface or some shit. But anyway, yeah. So I'm glad I got this done. Yeah, but this is a really cool one. So, uh, but anyway, Rebel Engine 95.